Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the video. Today we're going to get started on the Mafex Upgrade Suit Spider-Man. It's been a minute. I'm out of practice. I won't lie to you. I've been enjoying my birthday and things like that. So it's been crazy. So thank you for your patience and thank you for welcoming me back as I review some things that I probably should have did like 2 months ago. But thank you guys. I just want to say I appreciate you. Yeah, let's jump into it. I like this Spider-Man. I know there is a lot of controversy surrounding the bulkier body. It's a little bit wider. The change in the ab crunch articulation. I know some people don't like it. But overall, it does look closer to Tom Holland in the suit. And I just like the way it feels. The plastic is different. I have some paint issues, but I also do have two Spider-Men, in case you can't see it. I bought two of them. So one does have a sloppy paint job and one does not. I decided to review the one with the sloppy paint job because it has a better feel on the joints than my other one. So yeah, let's start off with our look and articulation. Let's back it on up. There we go. As you can see here, we have a nice body that looks really cool, really clean. There we go. I really like this. I really like this mold. I really like the design. And it's still on a smaller body that allows us to pretty much make it look like a teen. I know Tom Holland's pretty small, but if he ever grows, it'll work itself out. He could just be a taller, bigger Spider-Man. But I really like how this kind of looks. Even with the head and the neck piece, as you know, Mafex does their curve the neck joint. So it's never going to be like a straight-on head sculpt that just has a straight head. It's going to be that curvature, and that curvature allows him to get those good articulated poses that we all see. It's really fun to sit down and kind of enjoy these for what they are. If you're looking for like suit accurate Mafex, because they are so much later, most of the time they're actually the most accurate. It's really cool. But let's jump into articulation because I know the look is not my strong suit. So let's jump into things that I am comfortable with. And pretty much breaking a toy, testing out his articulation is something I am known for. So this guy has the looks, he has the feel. And like I said, I like this one better than my other one because this one, in terms of articulation, has a lot of movement. Now, I'm just going to stand him straight back up. And then what we're going to do is start from the head and work our way downward. You saw the neck curvature in the joint. This allows you to look up very nicely. Allows you to look down as well too. We can tilt side to side, looking really good, having lots of rotation there. Then we actually can pull out our shoulders to get that extra articulation like we saw on Peter B. Parker and our other Spider-Man figures. We do have a regular ball joint that allows us to rotate, and we do have a bicep swivel, which is really nice. We have our double joints, the way a Spider-Man should be, even though he jokes about not having that many points himself, which makes sense because we don't. As we can see, this is where it gets a little different because we notice that you can't tilt over as far as you used to, right? You can tilt backwards just a little bit. You can tilt forward only a little bit. This Spider-Man is definitely lacking in the area in terms of that ab crunch that allows us to get that free movement for lots of articulation for our Spider-Man. That doesn't mean he can't get them. Just a little bit more awkward for him because they definitely changed the plastic in the waist area and they've changed the plastic here in our crotch area. I'm trying to find a word for it. But this is also a different plastic. I don't know if you guys can tell, but if I press, it is a much harder plastic than our previous Spider-Man, which means when we do things like trying to rotate our legs up, the plastic is reinforcing itself, not allowing us to push in. So you can get those really cool spider-like stances without ruining something. But I heated mine up on the other one. It definitely, it's good to go, but man, is it tough. Because you want to press against this plastic. And I'm guessing Mafex is aiming for aesthetic over articulation here. So it's a little problematic for people like me, but nothing too crazy. But like I said, you can still get into really good spider-like poses. You just won't be able to get all of them. It's really cool though. But that lacking in certain parts of articulation is a little bit of a bummer for me. It takes away from some of the fun that I'm going to get posing him. But yeah, leg-wise though, like I said, this crotch area is going to limit you along with the waist, which means you're going to have to work hard to not make it look crazy in some areas. Like I said, as you fold it up, because as you rotate up, you fold outward. So folding it in, like I said, heating up this waist area, softening that plastic will definitely help you. Otherwise, like I said, awkward points. But we do have our thigh swivel rotating outward. We have the drop down method. We are double jointed in our legs. And we have super generous ankle pivot. So we shouldn't have too much to worry about at all there. Now that we've covered all of that, I'm going to take a quick break, even though I have the literal accessories right next to me. You guys will consider it as a 30-second little bridge break. I'm going to take a small break, drink some water, get right back into it as we jump into accessories. So let's get to it, guys. Alright, guys, now we're going to jump into accessories. So I'm going to back Spider-Man up a little bit to the side. First off, let's talk about his extra head accessory. Now, this one has a slightly different eyes compared to the original. So while this one is more open, this one is more focused head glance that we get here. Really nice and a nice little touch. But if you feel like swapping out with some other head sculpts that you may have from third parties, I think you'll be totally fine. I know tons of people like myself are going to do that. Then you'll have your magnetic feet. This shouldn't be an issue. This is a staple for the Mafex stuff. They've really changed the game with this. So with magnetic feet, you'll also get magnetic hands. And this staple from them has pretty much offered a changing of the game where we're allowed to pretty much, you don't have to use magnetic stands. You can just literally go, hey, I want to put my Spider-Man on the fridge, and it's there. No problem. You're going to get some love and peace hands. Love and peace. Love and peace. This one is going to be a reference to Trigun for those of you that don't get that. You will get your web shooter hands. And for some reason, they always come just a tad bit warped. But I realize, depending on what you do with your hands, this may be proper. I could be wrong here. We're going to get our open action hands, aka wall crawling hands. Very important for a Spider-Man. Without them, you'd probably just be like a clone or something. Ben Riley. So, we do have open holding hands. You can use these for other sorts of actions as well. But the reason why we call these open holding hands is because this one is going to hold your Stark phone. Oop, well, I'm terrible at doing that. But yeah, this is supposed to hold your Stark phone. I just don't want to warp out my fingers. But yeah, this will hold your phone. Let's change that focus ever so slightly. There we go. Then you will get your web swinging hands. Now, the only thing that bummed me out about this is that normally, when we get our web swinging hands, there is an option to open it up. They've actually glued it across, so I'm probably going to cut mine open. So this one bummed me out a little bit because welding them shut doesn't allow for variation. That means once they're open like this, once they're locked in like this, like glued, you take away the freedom of adding other items or other web swinging things, which I'm pretty sure they wanted to do, but I'm going to change that. So yeah. Then you'll get your various web shooting styles. So you will get your short web shooters that you can just peg into through taking the hands off. There'll be your short ones. You will have your longer ones. And then you get actually 2 web zip lines because this allows you to now web zip. Upgrade suits give you upgrade weapon, right? I usually like the white ones, but the clear ones make more sense with the upgrade suit creating its own web shooters through the fabric. So that makes sense. Now that we're done with accessories, we're going to take a second, get right into the size comparisons. Let's get to it, y'all. All right, guys, last but not least, we're going to jump into size comparisons. First things first, I want to compare the SHF upgrade suit and the Mezco upgrade suit so we can kind of see how far we've come and what we've done so far. And while the SHF was nice, in comparison to later stuff like the Mafex, it fell short with the no bicep swivel and having that scary ball joint issue that a ton of people were afraid to mess with. Then we have Mezcos, which if you are a Mezco collector, this Spider-Man is actually really great, but he may be too big for some people. So finding some middle ground with this one definitely might be it for you. I feel like it definitely is going to be one of those things where you have to pick and choose what you want to fit well in your collection. And this may definitely be it for some people. Sorry about the lighting. Got a little harsh there for a second. So I'm working it out as I go along. Again, still a setup I'm trying to play with. So thank you for working through this with me. But it's crazy because the Mafex seems to be the blend of the two that you can really get. if you want that nice little bit of size as well as articulation, because the Mezco actually does have some excellent articulation that they've worked on since the first Homecoming Spider-Man. So let's remove these two. And now let's talk about Mafex offerings, because we have the 1.5, which definitely has a much slimmer build compared to that of the upgrade suit, right? And it made me knock down my upgrade suit. Now, there we are with that. Then here we have our Iron Spider. And as you can see, these guys are a bit slimmer, but they also offer better torso articulation. That's it, just about better torso articulation. Because, in all honesty, they actually do just about the same otherwise. They just offer better torso and better waist articulation right here in the crotch area, because this one's actually, now that I'm looking at it, it's actually a bit wider and bulkier to match the rest of the body. So I did not expect that. So looking at them together, we finally do see that. Now, we're going to compare to some other stuff so we can see what we got going on. Let's do it. What should I start with? You know what? My old friend. Here's Cougar, but instead of it being Amazing Mighty, here's the SHF Pegasus form, which I have to review, so I'll probably start on that after. Here is the Marvel Legends Ben Reilly costume Spider-Man. And although this is an adult Spider-Man, I don't think I have any more other teen ones other than Miles. So just to show you what he's like next to a normal Marvel Legend. I don't know why he didn't stand just now. Then we have a G.I. Joe Fortnite. Sorry, not G.I. Joe Fortnite. I'm thinking of getting that Fortnite one. We have a G.I. Joe Snake Eyes. So here we are. Next up, we have a Mythic Legions Kit Bash that I did. Looking pretty good. And as you can see, Spider-Man still smaller and works out really well with these guys. Then we have an Articulated Icons Ninja. And I think these kind of smaller ninjas work very well with the Mafex. They also work well with the Marvel Legends and the G.I. Joe Red Ninjas, which would be pretty good. Then we're going to do a... Oh, you know what? Because I have it. Here is Death Ryuga Custom that I have, because I wanted to compare a Lightning collection. But I didn't have one out, so here we are. Caused an accident by doing too much. There I go. So let's move these guys. Last but not least, we have an MCU Falcon from SHF. So now we can get ready to cut the check. Let's get him to stand. There we go. All my stuff has been in flight stands for so long they can't even stand anymore. Last, we have the Sony Marvel Legends Venom. And I wanted to add him in to anybody who wanted to see how he looks with a Sony Venom. And as you can see, he's pretty much gigantic to the point where even after I back out, you still can't fit him all the way in the frame. But guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for being around. Even when I'm not putting up videos and checking out my Instagram and just overall a lot of the love. I do appreciate it. It's very much warranted. From you to me, back and forth. I love you guys. I appreciate it. As always, please be good, do good, drink your water. Later.